Welcome to the deep dive. You know that feeling, don't you? When life starts to feel less like an adventure and more like just this endless to-do list. The joy, the motivation, that sense of purpose, it just seems to have vanished. You're kind of going through the motions, maybe feeling burned out, and just wondering, where did my spark go? We've all been there, I think.
Absolutely. It's a really common experience. And our source for this deep dive, Al Wynant, he's the co-founder of the coaching app Ingomu. He really stresses that this is, temporary. It's not a permanent state. We're going to dig into his article, Reigniting Your Passion, a coaching path to purpose. And our mission today really is to pull out those actionable bits of wisdom, stuff to help you rediscover that fulfillment, practically speaking.
Okay, so let's really unpack this then. If you're feeling that spark dimming, where does Wynant say it often goes? Like, what are the main culprits he points to?
Yeah, he pinpoints a few key reasons, and they're incredibly relatable. The first big one is often just burnout. It's not just being tired, it's that constant mental, emotional pressure, that lack of real balance. It just drains you over time.
Right, like running on empty.
Exactly. You're running on fumes, and naturally, passion is one of the first things to, take a hit.
That totally makes sense. It feels like your brain just have way too many tabs open, and eventually it all just slows down. And then he mentions routine overload, the daily grind.
Yes, the grind. It's like you're stuck on repeat day in, day out, and that repetition, it can really just dull your creativity, your enthusiasm. It kind of sucks the joy out of things.
Yeah, it really can.
And often linked to that is this feeling of disconnection from values.
Okay. How does that happen?
Well, it's usually not some big dramatic thing. It's more of a slow drift, You might find yourself chasing goals or just working in ways that don't really line up with who you are deep down anymore.
Okay.
Like, imagine someone who really values creativity, but their job slowly becomes like 90% admin and only 10% creating. That mismatch, it just erodes passion.
That makes perfect sense. It's a quiet drift, not a sudden break. And finally, Wynant brings up fear of change. Oof, I know that one.
It's a big one.
We stick with what's familiar, right, if you think that. Even if it's uninspiring. Because the idea of changing, trying something new, it just feels too risky sometimes.
It does. The known discomfort versus the unknown potential. Right?
Exactly. And Wynant himself, he actually went through this. A health scare, a business challenge. It really dimmed his own passion. He lived it.
He absolutely did. And what's really powerful is how he found his way back. Importantly, he says, with the help of coaches.
Ah, okay. So that's the link.
Yes. And this brings us to what he calls the secret to rediscovering purpose and passion. Coaching. But it's not about someone just giving you answers like a prescription.
Right.
Instead, a good coach helps you uncover your answers, the ones already inside you. It's much less about telling you what to do and way more about asking the right questions. Questions that challenge your assumptions, help you see things differently.
Asking the right questions. Okay, but what kind of questions are we talking about?
Yeah.
Not just like, how was your week?
No, definitely not. It's about questions that gently but firmly push you out of your usual thinking patterns. Wynant actually shares his favorite coaching question, which I think is incredibly insightful. What's your role in that?
Ooh, what's your role in that? I like that.
Yeah. Think about how that shifts things. Instead of just blaming, external stuff, it brings it back to your agency, your part in the situation. It's empowering.
I could see how that immediately changes the frame.
Yep.
Okay, so this is where it gets really practical for anyone listening. Wynant outlines 5 specific ways coaching helps get that passion back. Think of these as prompts, maybe, for your own reflection. First step, creating space for reflection.
Yes, and this is so crucial because in our day-to-day rush, we rarely stop to ask the big questions, do we?
No, never.
Like, what really matters to me now? What actually excites me? What am I doing just out of obligation versus real, genuine passion?
A coach provides that dedicated space. It's non-judgmental. It helps you quiet the noise and dig deep, uncover what you might have been ignoring.
Okay, so you create the space, then what? The next step, Wynant says, is clarifying your values. I mean, we all sort of think we know our values, but coaching helps get crystal clear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So many people feel stuck because they're chasing things that just don't line up with what they truly believe in. A coach helps you really nail down those core values. Creativity, freedom, helping others, connection, mastery, whatever your core things are,
Right.
and then guides you to make decisions, take actions that actually honor them. It's all about alignment.
If you value X, but you're doing Y all day.
Exactly. That internal conflict is like a silent passion killer.
Which leads nicely into the third point,
Yeah.
identifying roadblocks, because we often know what we should do, but we just don't. Precisely. We get stuck. A coach helps you spot those things holding you back. Maybe it's a limiting belief you have about yourself, or a fear, or just a habit.
Like holding up a mirror, maybe?
Yeah, kind of. Helping you challenge those old stories you tell yourself, or assumptions you've made about what's even possible. And once you see the roadblocks, the fourth way coaching helps is setting clear, meaningful goals.
Okay.
Because once you've got clarity on what excites you, what aligns with your values, coaching helps turn that passion into actual concrete steps.
And not just any goals.
Right.
You mentioned SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, but also goals tied to your why.
Yes, that's key. The why is the fuel, making sure each step feels purposeful, not just like another task on the list.
Got it. Purpose-driven steps.
And finally, the fifth way is building confidence and momentum.
Because starting something new can feel huge.
Totally daunting. Coaches help break down those big, scary goals into smaller, manageable steps. And crucially, they help you notice and celebrate the small wins along the way. That's how you build confidence. That's how you keep going, brick by brick.
And I think the biggest thing here is how practical this all sounds. It's not some mystical process. It's structured.
It really is.
So what does this mean for you listening right now, maybe without a coach? The article gives some great tips, things you can actually start doing today.
Yeah, definitely. One simple but really effective one is to just revisit what used to excite you.
Go back in time a bit.
Yeah. Think back. What activities, subjects, people used to really light you up? Can you reconnect with any of that, even just for a little bit? Sometimes that spark is just, buried under layers of shoulds.
That's a great idea. And another one, really powerful. Journal your thoughts.
Oh, yes. Journaling.
Just spend a few minutes each day, maybe.
Yeah.
Write down what brings you joy, what drains you. Look for patterns.
It's like being your own investigator.
Totally. Uncovering clues about yourself.
And connecting with that, another tip, talk to people who inspire you.
Oh, that's a good one. Surround yourself with passion.
Exactly. Find people who are living with purpose. Their energy, it's contagious. Plus, they might spark new ideas or possibilities for you.
Definitely. And a big one, maybe the hardest for some of us. Be open to change.
Crucial.
Don't be afraid to pivot, to try something new, because often that passion, that purpose, it lives just outside your comfort zone.
So true. The most rewarding things often feel a bit scary at first. And of course, the article does mention if you're really serious about making a change and you want that guidance, then consider working with a coach.
Right. As Wine and Sound, they can offer that clarity, structure, accountability.
Exactly.
This all seems to boil down to a really key insight. Passion isn't just magic. It doesn't just appear or disappear randomly.
No, not at all.
It's something you actively nurture through intention, action, reflection.
You cultivate it.
So losing your passion doesn't mean you're broken. It probably just means you've grown, you've changed, and now you need to realign with what matters now.
Well said. It's a signal, really, a call to reevaluate, not a life sentence of feeling blue.
Right. So to wrap this up, the journey back to your passion, it's really one of growth, of realignment, and it's nurtured by conscious effort. As Winant highlights, coaching can be a powerful spark for that. And he mentions tools like his Ingomu app are designed to give you that support goal setting, tracking progress, expert help to put these ideas into action.
Definitely. It's about having the right support structure. So maybe a final thought for you to take away from this deep dive. If passion is nurtured through intention, action, and reflection, what's one small intentional action you could take this week truly to begin nurturing even just a tiny lost spark?